It is worth recalling that Search FM 92.3 FUT MINNA made history in 2009 when its online streaming solution was developed and hosted within the university by a student of physics department, Ifeanyi Mba. This remarkable achievement made Search FM 92.3 Campus Radio the first campus radio in Nigeria to offer online streaming, leading to a well-known slogan, the first campus radio in Nigeria to reach the world. However, in recent years, evolving global internet security protocols have affected many streaming platforms. As a result, our audio streaming service became inaccessible on certain browsers and platforms like Google Chrome and Android Play Store for several months. Determined to find a cost-effective, locally developed solution instead of relying on expensive foreign subscription services, we connected with an alumnus and business development manager of Softsol Media Tech, Mr. Sumanu Peter, who, with the support of FUT MINNA Information and Technology Services (ITS), developed a new server-based solution to restore our online streaming. Joining us live from Lagos, we are honored to welcome the Business Development Manager of Softsol Media Tech, Mr. Sumanu Peter. So I want to welcome you, Mr. Peter. Thank you so much for joining us once again. We would like to start from the beginning. What was your journey like being, a student of FUT MINNA in physics department? How was life after school? I think you graduated 2012.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here once again. And like I said, as I was stating earlier, the way it started for me was just like every other normal student, just getting into the university. So it was just normal, the normal experience of every student. But the only thing that was distinct for me was that some of the people who ended up in physics department were those who didn't make it, who wanted to go for electrical, computer, or elect. They were the one that the school rerouted to physics department. But in my own case, I was advised to choose physics. So if there's anything that was unique, that was what was unique for me. And during my 100 level, that's during my first year, I just couldn't tell what the essence of physics was as a course. I couldn't tell because most of the people who I have around me at the time were more like, you're going to end up in the classroom, either as a teacher or as a lecturer. So that was what they were telling me, and that was the understanding I had at the time. But as I got into my second year, I was fortunate to have a relative who was resident in one of the Western countries, who told me the importance, how important physics was, how most of the guys in Wall Street, most of the brokers in Wall Street are making use of physics to do wonders in the stock market. And I was like, okay, that's medical field. And long story short, I begin to appreciate the course, and then the next thing for me was that aside the classwork, aside the regular coursework, I was more of a handy person. I want to get something done. I want to string things together. So I think in the second year, during my second year, so we were introduced to circuits and stuff. So that actually spurred a different level of interest in the tech world, and what we all call tech now. But unfortunately, when you say you're a tech bro, everybody thinks you're a software developer. So that was the spark. That was a spark, that critical mass that my journey into, that my foray into the tech world. So we are doing all we were doing in school, and we are seeing what we could learn on the side. So we are learning stuff on the side. I think at that point, the big thing then, the big tech thing in school, the big tech thing in school then was, oh, I can design an inverter, I can build an inverter. So it was a big thing then. So that was what we were aspiring, we were aspiring and looking forward to. Then towards the end, I got to, I had this lecturer, and towards the end, I had this lecturer, what was her name? Mrs. Calista. I don't know if she's a doctor, she's a prof now, but then I think maybe, so she was the one, she was my project supervisor, and she pushed me in the direction of medical physics. So I went to ABU Teaching Hospital, Shika, spent, I think about a couple of months there doing my research there. And that was it. That was it with school for me. And the other story, my interesting journey after school was that I was an electronic person. Then even when I got into medical physics, I was much more interested in the electronic part of it. Like, okay, yeah, I think in that aspect that's what most of these guys, I think they call them biomedical engineers. That's what they do. So I was much more interested in the MRI machines, yes, the maintenance, the operations. I was much more interested in those stuff. But you know, they are not uh, they are not a common presence in most of our health facilities. Because then, even then, medical, when I was doing my medical research, then that's my final year research. We had one in Enugu, I had one in ABU, but the only functional one that we had then was the one in ABU. The MRI machine was in ABU. But thank God today that's not the story. You can walk into multiple hospitals that are equipped with, private hospitals for that matter, that are equipped with those machines around. So that was it for me. And talking about tech in general, I started playing with computers when I was in secondary school, as in what we call the internet boom. At the initial stage when we had the internet, that initial internet penetration, we used to have a cyber cafe next to our house. We used to have a cyber cafe next to our house. So at that point, I used to help most of the customers coming, as in the staff that were employed in the cyber cafe will come and call me from the house to help fix their computers, and even with a simple task. Okay, sorry, I'm calling them simple. Even with tasks that that is expected of system administrators today, adding a machine to the domain, you know, installing the domain controllers and stuff like that. So those were elementary stuff I was doing then. I was just doing it because I I was able to replicate what I had seen an engineer do previously, but I didn't all the whole underlying technology. I didn't understand it, but I could just implement those things. Then all of a sudden we graduated from school and we started hearing things like system engineering. They start talking about Microsoft servers, stuff like that, and you're now beginning to wonder. You look at the JD, you look at the job description, and you look at it. These are things that I've been doing for a very long while. But then I think the easiest route I used, I think we thank God for CCNA now that is actually going into obsolete now. That is actually going obsolete now because of cloud, because almost everybody is adopting, the cloud technology. So courses like CCNA and co are actually going obsolete.
Okay, I'm sure. I'm sure if I let you, you would write a book about your entire journey. But then let's take it back to the fact that we know and we've heard that you've mentored several of our campus radio interns and volunteers over the years, and they speak highly of your guidance. You've spoken a lot of positive things. We want to know, what is your approach to mentoring young aspiring talents that are interested in media technology? What approach do you actually use?
Well, it's simple. It's very simple, and I think from among the numerous people that you'd want to mention, the person that stands out for me is Udo. That's Mike. Mike Udo. That's the person that stands out for me amongst them all. And one of the things, like, he has an experience that he has. Why Udo will I say, why Udo was a little bit special was he has an experience and a grounding that is similar to mine. He was also from the physics department, and he was in our organization at the time for his IT. So the simple approach is, first thing first, the interest has to be there. You need to see the interest. So once you see that sincere interest and desire, to coach becomes very easy. Coaching and mentoring becomes very easy. But if the interest is not there, if the interest is not in learning the skill, it becomes very difficult, because we've come across several persons who that is tied to the office that you occupied. They are more interested in the figures than doing the job that will make them contribute the value that they need to contribute to earn those figures.
Yes.
You know, energy will always flow in the path where it is less resisted. So once there is an interest, there's a passion, it's very easy to guide. So you are not responsible for doing the propelling. You only be steering the person in the right direction. And at some point, it's just as simple as, I'm pointing you to where the information that you need to get past this challenge is. And that's all.
All right. I love the angle to which you came in through for mentoring. So let's come back to the campus radio. What really motivated you to step in and provide the IT solution that we needed to our campus radio streaming challenges and ensuring accessibility across all the platforms?
If I'm to place everything chronologically, Udo was the one who reached out to me that, okay, there's a problem like this, research, that this is the peculiar challenges that, you guys were facing. So I told him, I said, it's a very simple, I told him it's a very simple problem, but it now depends on the route to which you're willing. It now depends on the route. For every problem, there are myriads of solutions. So it now depends on the client's need. That's where you can now begin to customize solution to meet the client's need. But at the end of the day, he went further to explain the situation to me. Then I said, okay, yes, still, we can still provide this particular solution. And it will also be an opportunity for him to learn the process. So I told him, I said, okay, you will do the process. You will be the one executing. I will just be showing you what to do and how to go about it. And to God be the glory. I think that was it all. Nothing
Okay,
more.
I can see what you did there. A bit of mentoring and little of probably solution to the problem that you had on grants.
Yes.
All right. So we are in a world of AI. AI this, AI that, and it's in a way it is transforming media technology. Now, in your opinion, you say that AI is a blessing or a challenge to the industry, and how do you see the future of media technology with AI integration? Do you feel that AI is a blessing or a challenge to the media space?
No, AI is neutral. You understand? AI is actually neutral. If AI is neutral, just like money is neutral. So, and it's a very good tool in the hands of a good individual, and it can also become a terrible tool in the hands of a terrible individual.
So what's the future of media technology with AI integration?
All right, I think before this whole AI buzz, and myself and most of my colleagues, we've had this conversation. You know, I'm a data scientist also. I'm also a data scientist. So AI is we use what we call artificial intelligence. We also adopt them to our own special use cases. You know, now we have the LLMs, we have the AGI, and we are beginning to see wonderful AGIs coming into play now. I think one of the notable one is, the DeepSeek, and the recent Grok 3 that was released by that's XAI. So in the media space, we've always had automation tools, and whatever it is that AI is coming to do, whatever it is that AI is coming to play in the media space would either will be more in the realm of automation. Will be more in the realm of automation than the all in all, the great genie, the wonderful genius in a box. So I think that's what AI is going to play. And to buttress that, as you are in the studio there now, when there's a disconnection between your mixer, there's an issue with a microphone cable to the mixer, as into your mixing console. AI will not come, and if it has to solder, if there's need to solder the connection, or there's a broken connection that needs to be soldered, the so-called AI would not come and sort that out for you. You still need an individual, a technician on ground to sort things like that out in the space. But when you're talking about monitoring tools, you're talking about things that will give you alert, give you notifications, and maybe there are preset values that you want to. Okay, you have adverts that you want to push at a certain point in time, at a certain time slot. Okay, you have one active machine with a redundant machine. So you want the active machine is down, so you want a device that would switch between the active and the redundant. So those are the fields where AI can actually play in the industry, but we already have automation tools in the industry that are providing the same solution.
All right, thank you. So because of time, what advice would you give to students and undergraduates who are interested in pursuing a career in media technology, regardless of their academic background?
Like I said the easiest thing, the granular requirement. The granular requirement is have the passion and be willing to pay the required price to learn. If, as a mentor, you find somebody with the right interest and the right mindset to sacrifice, to put in the time, put in the grind, it's very easy to mentor. If that is absent, no matter how good you are in the field, it will not be easy for you to mentor, because first of all, as a mentor, you have your own task, you have your own deliverables, and this order is not primary. The deliverables are your primary assignment. Then mentorship is secondary. So if the passion is not there, you cannot sacrifice your primary assignment and focus on the secondary assignment. But as long as you find the right passion, the person with the right passion and the right motivation, it's very easy to mentor. So I just hope that these days it's very difficult to find people, especially young people, with the right attitude. Attitude towards work is generally very poor. as we speak now.
Okay, all right. So passion and the right attitude to work. I think those are key advice that anybody that is looking to any career at all can follow. Thank you so much, Mr. Peter, for doing this with us, despite the busy your schedule and all of those. Thank you so much. And we also want to appreciate you for your contribution to solving our station's streaming challenges. Trust us, we're sincerely grateful. And on behalf of all of the volunteers and all of the staff of the station, we want to say thank you to you and we wish you well.
Thank you very plenty. It's a pleasure to be here. And if you guys do not mind, if I can get a direct link, I can throw up your channel. I can throw up your radio station on a satellite platform.
All right. I think that is something we'll follow up on. Of course.
Right.
Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Sumanu, I want to sincerely appreciate you for taking your time to join us despite your busy schedule. We are grateful for your generous contribution to solving our station's streaming challenges. To our listeners and viewers, if you have previously downloaded the Search Media FUT MINNA app on Android Play Store or iOS App Store, an update is now available to resolve audio streaming issues. And if you haven't downloaded it yet, we encourage you to do so and leave a review. Also, do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on the notification button for updates. Thank you for listening and watching. Search FM 92.3, the first campus radio in Nigeria to reach the world. And this is Search TV.
Subscribe to Search TV on YouTube. Search for Search TV and click the subscribe button.